welcome to That's So Nova. My name is Nova. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, how you doing? Today we're going to be making a pattern called Carley from Sallie Tomato. It's part of their mini pattern series. When I was looking for some patterns for Novaween, I wanted to do something that was fun, easy, and that you could put your own spin on. So I was browsing through all these different patterns, and I usually go to Sallie Tomatoes because she has a boatload of different patterns. So she carries zippers, hardware, whatever. Then I seen Carley, and I was like, oh, we need to make Carley, because Carley has a ID window, and when you open it up, you slide your ID in there. See? It has an area where you can place cash. It has 3 card slots, and you can wear it around your neck, so, and zip it up. I thought, hey, if anyone does cons, conventions, or quilt shows, this would be perfect. You can leave your other stuff in the hotel room and you're ready to go. I thought for my friends that have, 9 to 5 jobs, and they have like key codes, or they have to wear an ID, like identification, like I work for Dell or whatever, this would be a perfect gift. And I just thought it would just be great all around, like for people that have year-round passes to like theme parks and they have like IDs, like come on, everything's on you, go on that ride, throw your hands up and your cash is secure and you're secure. So when I contact Sallie Tomatoes and asked them if I can make a pattern for this video, they were like, yeah, definitely. Matter of fact, we're going to send you our new vinyl that is eucalyptus, and they also sent me this frosted vinyl for the ID window. Okay, so here's the thing. I have a lot of clear vinyl for I make them, and like they're blue, green, leopard print, or whatever. When you have them those colors, you can't see it. The reason why I do it like that, because they're just the regular clear vinyl, someone could just snap a picture and you're good. And like of your ID, and that can be like a little jarring. But this, because it's frosted, you can see it, but there's like a blur factor. And I was like, this is amazing. It's really soft and pliable. I used an size 80 organ needle on this whole thing. This has raw edges. You can go back when you're done and trim it up so it can have a cleaner look and edge coat it. And I think I might edge coat this one. And you can edge coat before you edge coat it at the end. You can edge coat the pocket slides and the whole 9 yards. I feel like this is like a great gift for teachers, a great gift for anyone in your life, and I feel like this will be really awesome at any bazaars you go to. So I'm going to have the link down below where you can get Carley, and you use That's So Nova 10, you do get a 10% discount. So there's that thing, and let's get into it. Okay, so let's get into it. Sallie Tomatoes, I'm going to give you the link to purchase this pattern. They have like a mini series of like mini projects that don't take very long, but can get the job done. When I seen the Carley pattern, I totally flipped out, because most of the people I know, they have a 9 to 5 and they have like a work ID or a badge they need to get into doors. And I thought, this is the perfect gift, the perfect make to give to other people, but it would be nice to give to teachers on Teacher Appreciation Day, Winter Solstice, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever. It's a perfect gift. Also, it's a complete scrap buster. I mean, you use so little of many of your scraps that you can even use more. It's quite simple. There's no lining. You do need all raw materials. So you can use cork. You can use craft text. You can use vinyl. You can use waterproof canvas, I think, too. Anything that doesn't fray. It's a simple pattern, but there's some sophisticated things you can do. Sallie Tomatoes sent me this beautiful green vinyl that we're going to use today. But this is what I wanted to bring to you. They have a frosted, I'm going to bring it down here so you can see it. They have a frosted ID cover. I don't know about you, but I think that is amazing, because you could still see it perfectly clear and frosted, but I don't know, it feels like it's extra protection. So I'm getting to use that today. And there's not a lot of pattern pieces. We have a few. You can write the pattern pieces on there. There's only 1, tiny pattern piece that you need for the wallet, and the rest are just really quick rectangle. And when I'm saying scrap buster, I mean scrap buster. We're using a 5-inch zip. Everything is easy peasy lemon squeezy. And we're going to use this beautiful rose gold hardware. And look at this zipper pull. It has some bling. Definitely has some bling. So let's get started. First thing you'll need to do is wipe off your table from the condensation from your ginger ale. Okay, second thing you're going to do is you're going to need to, there's some markings in the pattern for you to cut out. It's like, it shows you in figure 1 and figure 2. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw an X in the areas that we need to cut out. Now you can use your scissors, or you can get a rotary blade or an X-Acto knife. I'm going to get an X-Acto knife. I'm not really good at X-Acto knife, so if I mess up, I messed up. So I'm going to cut away where I put the X's. And if it doesn't cut, I'm pretty good at scissors. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the clear ID. See, I wanted to bring you this project because I thought, what a fun way to celebrate Halloween. If you have like Halloween vinyl or like black vinyl or orange, beautiful cork, you can make somebody a really nice lanyard, or heck, make it for yourself. This would be perfect if you're like, you have a pass to an amusement park. You can slip the pass in and there's some credit card slots. So you can't get better than that. I'm just using an X-Acto knife that you can get at any craft store or Amazon. I say craft store though, because we need to start supporting these smaller businesses, because more and more businesses are closing than I've ever seen before. I went to Joann's yesterday and I was like shocked. Like our Big Lots it was closed. They were like taking down the sign and I had no idea. One of the other like quilting stores by me that sells like quilting cotton, they're closing down too. So all these brick and mortars, it's actually really sad. Let's see. And I'm just, my X-Acto knife was like not perfect at cutting, but it's cool. I'm going to use my sharp snips. Okay, and then again, remember I say always keep these extra pieces because you can use them for like backings of rivets. So we have our piece, and it's, let me get this little piece that's sticking out. It's all raw edges. If you want to use edge coat, you could definitely do that. That could be something you can use too. Sorry, I seen this one little piece. There we go. It's all done. You can edge coat. You can cut out all the pieces and edge coat everything if you wish to. This one little piece too. It's okay. I'm not a perfectionist. I promise you. Mistakes happen, but if you can see them, get them done. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our zipper and we are going to lay the zipper down into this, on this hole area. We're going to place the zip. We're going to sew it. So I'm just going to take my zip and try to not have my ring touch the Dritz. I'm using Dritz wash away tape so it doesn't gum up my needles. And what I'm trying to do is just line the zipper teeth in the middle as best I can. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this over to the machine and we're going to stitch 1/8 of an inch all the way around. I'm going to back stitch really well at the where the coils are, because of the simple fact that this area is going to have a lot more up and down pullings and tuggings. All right, so let's go over to the machine. My stitch length is at a 3, and I'm using 40 weight thread, Saba. I don't know why I start always at a corner. I should start at a long edge, but and when you have to move and pivot, have your needle down. I'm using a narrow foot that comes with, I bought with for my machine, and it's exactly 1/8 of an inch, and that's why I think I bought it. For projects like this is perfect. You can have fun if you've been wanting to like practice your top stitching with with contrasting thread. This might be the project for it. Okay, I'm going to snip these threads. And then we're going to trim down the zipper to 1/8 of an inch by the stitches. So just lift it up. Make sure you don't trim the actual pattern piece. Oops, there it goes. And pulling this up. Trying to take the tape with me so that it doesn't stick. And there we go. We cut those pieces. Now we're going to take the window and we are going to place it. You don't want it to cover your zipper, so I'm going to kind of lift this up because it has a little bit of stickiness. So lift this up and then shimmy this in here right underneath. So that way it can go. I think I cut my zipper thing my window a little too big. I always could trim it down. That's never an issue. You always could trim down. You can't add on, right? So we are going to flip this over. And if you want to, you could pop some clips in. You can, because look, it shifted automatically. So I'm going to re-shimmy this. Move my zipper out of the way. And I'm going to take some clips and just clip it around real quick, because we're going to stitch around this right top sides up at 1/8 of an inch. You know, bring it forward and back stitch like 1 or 2 stitches. What I like to do is when I'm top stitching, when I do the needle down, I like to bring the needle all the way down, and when I feel it's about to go up, that's where I stop the needle and then start sewing. Okay. And I'm going to trim the threads. I'm going to just trim up this pocket so it's at least 1/4 of an inch away from the bottom, because I don't want it to just like it caught up. But you can see that we have our nice little window covering, and that is super cute so far. I'm going to trim that piece. All right, so we're going to now put our pocket covering over it. Now this part is really important. As you see, we flip it, we have a slide, but in order to get your credit card or your ID in there, you need to leave an opening. So we're going to clip this around. And we're going to do some top stitching on this side, but we're not sewing across the top. That's where we're going to slide it in. After making my first one, I realized that it would be awesome if you like maybe had this part folded over, or there was like a binding or something so you can tell. You'll see when at the end. There's always room for modifications for with any bag pattern or anything particular. But I love the way the simplicity of this is, because it's easy to make, and like I said, scrap buster. So what we're going to do for top stitching on here, we're going to, on the right sides, we're going to top stitch. There we go, Nova. 3/8 of an inch from the short side. So on the short side of these, we're going to go we have a stitch 1/8. We're going to go 1/4 of an inch out, and then we're going to go 1/4 on the bottom. And I'm going to start relatively high up so that way it catches the back of this pattern. So I'm going to go 3/8, and you could, if you want it, you could take if you're like me and you're like, hey, the seam gauge is not going to go there. You can draw out your 3/8 of an inch with the Tandy leather pen, and I'm going to do that for you real quick. And we're doing 1/4 down here, because a Tandy leather pen you can wipe off. So you can see, okay, we're 3/8 on the sides, and we're doing 1/4 on the top. And I'm going to just shimmy this back up. So that way it's held. So let's start and do a few back stitch just to secure, because that's going to be the area that you're going to put the card, you slide your ID or whatever card you want in. Okay, we got that done. I'm trimming. That's right. You see when you open your zipper, you have a little slide where you can pop your ID in. I love that. That's really nice. Okay, so now we're going to start. We have some placements of where we're going to put the cards. All right, so for our credit cards, if you want, you can top stitch the very top at 1/8 of an inch on all your cards. Make sure you back stitch, because this is we're dealing with raw exposed vinyl, so the seam's not going to get caught into anything. And just change stitching this real quick at 1/8 of an inch. All right. So we have a nice little top stitch, decorative stitch. Okay, So we have, I'm going to get some double-sided tape. That double-sided tape, it's like not sticking. There are measurements that we need to place the first card slot, then the second, and then the third. And we just need to measure it out, utilize our double-sided tape. All right. All right. So let's get my ruler, and we're going to make sure the zipper's going the right way. That helps. I'm going just to make a mark of where the first one needs to be placed. And I'm going to grab some peel back my double-sided tape. That, like, it's super sticky on this vinyl, but my tape is like a wash away tape, and oh boy, it is not liking being on vinyl because it doesn't want to like let it go. Let's see. Okay. And I'm going to top stitch the bottom. Make sure. Yep. All right, so I'm going to take this to the machine and top stitch this down out with a 1/8 of an inch seam. The back stitch in the beginning and end. All right, let's get this done. I have so many ideas for this now because I have some really cool Harry Potter clear vinyl. I'm just like, oh my goodness, I can make my friends some really cool Harry Potter stuff. Harry Potter stuff. It's gonna be fine. Okay. All right, I'm trying to pull this tape off and make sure that these are butting up right next to each other. You want the T kind of shape to overlap by a little bit the other side, so that way you can't see it. That to me is super important. Okay, I'm going to take this over the machine and stitch it down to just the bottom. It kind of, if you've been with me in the channel, then you see me sew up the Lucky Penny wallet. It's very similar. I really like how this pattern comes together because it's kind of, it's just kind of neat. Make sure you trim your threads because there's no lining, so you don't want long threads on the bottom. Then we're going to take this last one and making sure that this covers. All right, so we're going to actually sew up on this. So this is the time to make sure all these little pieces are just all lined up. So we're going to sew this down at 1/8 of an inch. And as you can see, I have the material underneath here, where the pockets are facing me. I don't want to sew it the opposite way because then there's a high probability that one of the pockets will lift up. Okay, so 1/8 of an inch back stitch the beginning and the end. And if you're working with vinyl, a Teflon foot will be ideal. I wonder if they have a narrow Teflon foot. I'm just going to back stitch over each one of the pockets just once because, you know, if you're like me, you're putting like 3 or 4 things in the pocket and it's getting a lot of wear and tear. So we're going to trim these threads really carefully. You can edge coat all this too. If you've been wanting to like get into edge coating, there are some people that have some awesome edge coats out, like glow in the dark and all that. You can, this is a perfect opportunity to edge coat because it's all raw edges. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like this vinyl because the raw edges are like a really like tan pinkish and it's kind of cute. Uh-oh. You see? My thread does not like this. Let's see. We'll give this a go again after I rethread. This is like my second time with this thread that it's just not the business. I need to move on and maybe try it another day. I'm going to go over my stitches again with the 1/8 of an inch because it kind of had a bird nest and I don't want that to like affect the pocket. Okay. We're going to trim these threads. Okay. So what we're going to do is now we're going to fold this. And we're going to grab our rectangle ring and our strap connector. And we're going to place it where the zipper goes up. Let's see. I mean, you can actually place it anywhere you wish, but I'm going to place it. I'm gonna sew the sides up. So I'm trying to see how I want to place it. I'm gonna place it in the center. And I'm going to have it pretty close because I have a narrow foot. You can go as close or as short as you want. It's your discretion. Just line up the pocket so that way everything's enclosed. And we're going to trim and we're going to position everything. We're going to position everything folded over and we're going to stitch at 1/4 of an inch on the left short side, even with the bottom. And then we'll start top stitching where the card is at 1/8 of an inch. So let's get this 1/4 of an inch on. All right. You can use double-sided tape for this too if you wish. But if your machine is like mine and it gets kind of weird with it, then it's very feasible to do with like paper, wonder clips, hair clips, whatever you have on hand. Okay, and then we're going to go over the strap part at 1/8 of an inch just to help make sure everything sits right. Oops. Just at 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to top stitch back and forth. Just back stitch and then we're good to go. All right, so now we're going to start making our strap for this. And bear in mind, again, you can edge paint it so the edge don't go, we're not seeing. You could bring it to your rotary, you could bring a rotary blade and just trim it up so it's all even. Take a pair of scissors, whatever is easier for you. I'm just going to trim it up. Okay, so the straps, the way it comes together is pretty cool. We have our two pieces, and then we are going to kind of lay them over like we would do bias binding. Let me put a clip right here. And what I would suggest is to make a box. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure 2 inches down on one. And what I'm going to do is take it over to here, and then I'm going to make a box that we're going to sew to make this a longer strap piece, like bias binding. All right, so we have we have what we're going to sew. I'm going to clip right here so nothing moves. We're going to go over to our machine and we're going to sew this together, back stitch. I'm going to clip it. We're going to trim this back so there's like 1/4 of an inch showing. We'll have two little triangles. We're going to open this up, kind of pancake it down. We're going to sew along that seams to help keep them flat. And again, my thread, I didn't hold on to my tails. All right, let's do this again, Nova. And I'm just gonna hop over a few stitches and go down the other side. And this just helps it lay flat, and it also reinforces the area. Now, you could use, like, if you have like really weird fun tape, you can use that. There's a lot to do, but I like the fact that you're putting two pieces that are from scraps and you're making something special. You're going to slide your swivel clasp in there, and then we're going to actually do that strap thing again. We're going to take this and we're going to sew a diagonal from point A to point B. You don't have to draw a line. Sometimes when if you're a visual person, seeing it can help make you stitch it better. Okay. I hear like a cricket, like, so I think it's like in the basement. It's like loud. All right, so we're going to open up these seams. And then I'm going to hop over a few. You can make a smaller one and have it like a wrist snap thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this on itself. Now you can clip with clips, like you can fold it over and like clip, so you don't have to use tape at all. I'll see if I have enough of these flat clips to do it. It helps not gum up your needles. Or you can do what I normally do, is I grab some double-sided tape and you'll see why in just a moment. It just helps keeps things flat. This double-sided tape has been dropped a million times and has like collected threads for over the month. I'm using some double-sided tape that I got from Waywack. It's not the super hold, it's the medium hold. They have like different hold levels. I love the super hold one, but my machine does not. I'm just moving the swivel clasp down as I'm moving the tape. All right. So now we have that, and just make sure that that lasts. Okay. And then we're gonna fold these and butt up the ends towards each other. There's no gap, just have them facing each other. And then for the areas that have a seam, you might want to put a clip on it just so it can really hold. I'm just pressing my fingers to make sure it sticks and it's even. Again, you can definitely use clips and not do this if your machine's like, nope, I don't like wash away tape, I don't like tape at all. You can glue it, but you would just need to wait a little bit for it to cure and dry. And what we're going to do is, once this is all folded, we're going to top stitch both parts of the rings at 1/8 of an inch on both sides. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start top stitching, and you can increase your stitch length if you wish at this time, or you can keep it the same because it's not a lot of layers that we're going through. Back stitch. A Teflon foot would be, if your machine's kind of finding it, a Teflon foot would be extremely helpful. Now I'm going to go look for a Teflon foot for a narrow foot. There has to be one. Okay, and we're getting to where my first set of threads are. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to back stitch and then remove it, trim the threads. You could cross over and during on one of those stitches, but my machine and this thread are not being, they're not composite. They're not vibing at this time. So we're going to get to the other side. And I'm just moving the swivel clasps as I go. You can have a lot of fun with this. Like if you wanted to do like a pattern like with zigzags, like free motioning, you could do that. You can do the sew at 3/8 of an inch so it has that double stitch look. So we're done with that. We're gonna take the your lanyard part, and we're going to make sure you don't have any threads. Have your ends that you made be in the middle. We're going to take this, bring it to the machine, and we're going to top stitch about about a half an inch away from the swivel clasp. If you wanted to, you can add a rivet. This is supposed to be a scrap buster, but you can definitely add a rivet. Then we place the hook on, this is really pretty. This is really beautiful rose gold. You place the hook onto the triangle connector, and you, voila, have a zipper pocket that has an ID window where you can put extra cash, credit card slots, and you have a handy dandy lanyard. I really like this, and I love the frosted window. I love this. I think this is called eucalyptus. I will make sure I put the information for this vinyl on there. I think this is so cute. Imagine all the things you can do. Like I said, you can edge coat it. You can, if you wanted smaller hardware, you could do that. I love this hardware because it's like dainty, so just I like it. And then you put decorative zipper pulls. Like I would wear this. I'm going to Sew Magical, and I'm actually thinking about making this because I know I want to have something to be like, hi, I'm Shinova, or hi, I'm Nova. And then I can have my debit cards and credit cards here where all my other stuff are in the hotel and when I'm observing classes. Like I think this is like a really nice thing to have. I see at my kids' school where the teachers are wearing lanyards because they have like key codes to get into like the library or whatever. This is a great gift. I bet this will be an awesome thing to do for craft fairs and bazaars, or like a thank you gift to somebody. I don't know. I just think it's altogether a great pattern. This is called the Sallie. This is from Sallie Tomato, and it's called Carley. It's part of the mini pattern seasons. I'm going to put the information down below. If you purchase the pattern, you can put, if you put That's So Nova 10, you automatically will get 10% off of the pattern. So I'm really excited. Check out their cork. She has some amazing cork. Like amazing. I buy cork from her like a lot. And they have beautiful hardware and some of the best zipper tape out there. So if you have any questions, please comment down below. If you want to see another one of Sallie Tomato's videos, I think I made 1 or 2. If you want to see one, definitely put it down there. I look at the comments and I'm really responsive. So if you can like, share, and comment if you think it's worthy, I would greatly appreciate it. Until the next time I see you, happy sewing.